Yosemite is a 24-hour park, and it's well illustrated by the numbers of people who are going to go out all night long and take pictures of moonbows.
Yosemite is world famous for its waterfalls. A lot of people who come in the summertime are aware that we have all these rainbows at the base of these falls. A lot of people don't realize that we even get rainbows at night in Yosemite. If there's a full moon and the sky is clear, the moon, which is just reflected sunlight, is actually enough light to generate a rainbow at a place like Yosemite Falls.
What is so optimistic about a rainbow? You ever been in a thunder shower and it's so oppressive and pounding on you, and then it stops and is passed on further away, and you look up and there are all these black clouds? And then in front of the black clouds is this brilliant arc of color.
Rainbows are often something that we associate with the all-clear signal. After the storm passes, here's the rainbows. We're gonna be fine, we're gonna make it. You know, we survived the storm. But to go to places like Bridalveil Fall or the Mist Trail, you get the rainbow without the storm.
There are places where you can go and they're very predictable. Bridalveil Fall, Yosemite Fall, Lower and Upper, Vernal Fall, Nevada Fall. I've been to so many waterfalls. There are rainbows in every single one of them, and all you need is a little physics to figure out when to be there. It's just the way light goes into a droplet of water, bounces a couple of times and then comes back out. Going in, it's refracted a little, coming out, it's refracted a little, and that spreads white light to all the different colors in the rainbow.
When you're on the trails in Yosemite, you'll see folks come around the corner on the Mist Trail or on the Bridalveil Falls Trail, and they'll see that rainbow, and everyone just so excited, they all want to take a picture of it. It's just like, oh wow, rainbow, rainbow, and you know, there's sort of a magical property to them. People have been experiencing and photographing the moonbows at Yosemite Falls for years. Even John Muir wrote about these lunar rainbows, or spray bows as he called them, back in the 1800s.
Their colors are as distinct as those of the sun, and regularly and obviously banded, though less vivid. Fine specimens may be found any night at the foot of the upper Yosemite Fall, glowing gloriously amid the gloomy shadows and thundering waters, whenever there is plenty of moonlight and spray.
The popularity of moonbows has increased as the popularity of photography has increased. Moonbows have now become a very popular subject for photographers, and on the full moon of May or June in Yosemite, you can literally find hundreds of photographers up at Lower Yosemite Falls taking photographs of this lunar rainbow.
I tend to think of all the people who are up there. For them, that is a wild experience. The feel of the spray, the chill in the air, and the roar of the water, those are things that all add to actually being there. And it's a beautiful thing to see a photograph, but the photograph, it may as well be daylight and somebody painted a few stars, you know, in the sky up there.
I think a lot of people don't realize that moonbows occur on lots of waterfalls here in Yosemite. You can find moonbows on Cascades Waterfall, Ribbon Falls, Wapama Falls out by Hetch Hetchy, and even Bridal Veil Fall gets a moonbow at the right time of year.
It has its own romantic and beautiful sense to it. It's ethereal.
From the night skies and the Milky Way to the full moon rising to these lunar rainbows, the beauty here doesn't end when the sun goes down. You can have a unique experience 24 hours a day in Yosemite.